Hey guys, welcome to another episode. You may be wondering why I'm holding some fire extinguisher spray. Well, it's because today we're going to try and get our EJ25D fired up and running out of the car with all of our brand new to us, modifications put onto it. We did that wiring harness with the ECU, got it all tested, showed that the engine had spark. That was all last week. I'll make sure to put a link in the description and up above here for you guys to catch up if you missed it. But we're going to try and get this engine fired up and running today. So what I've done before we even got started is I hooked up our fuel pump, which we got from Vic Autosports. I'll make sure to put a link in the description for that as well. All the parts that we're using, I'll put them down there for you guys for reference. But it's a fuel injection rated fuel pump. Fuel injected rated fuel pump. Try and say that 10 times fast. But we have that hooked up. We have it all plumbed up. We have our temporary gas situation set. We have everything wired up, ready to go. I'm anxious to get this fired up and seeing, well, if it'll fire up. Now, we did have some hiccups here and there along the way, but the good news is we're all plumbed up. So I'm going to give us some power. We've got our fire spray on hand just in case, and we're going to give it a go. So let's get you guys set up and let's see what we can get. So we primed the system of fuel, so we got fuel running all the way through. We made sure we didn't have any fuel leaks. So we've got fuel going through the rail all the way around and into this red return tank here on the side. So we're going to kick it over and see what we got. Again, we've got our fire extinguisher spray here with us, and we're going to see what we can come up with. We have our fuel pump line directly from the computer hooked up to the fuel pump, so that's being regulated by the computer as well. We've got everything else plugged in where it needs to go, so we're going to see if we can get some fire out of this exhaust and hopefully get it to fire off. So here we go. All right, got a good prime out of it. Well, we're getting some good fire out of it, at least on the passenger side. I don't know about this other side here. Let's take a look. So, seems like we're only getting fire out of this side, which is a good start, but we're not getting it out of this side. So I don't know if we're not spinning over fast enough to really build up a lot of good compression. You know, we've been using this jumper pack for a little while, so we may need to charge it, but the good news is I do have a battery also that is brand new, so we should be able to plug this in and maybe get some more cranks out of it and really make a difference.
A few moments later.
All right, take two. Got the battery attached. Now we should be spinning a little faster, hopefully. And maybe we'll get some more action out of it. Higher compression, turn over a little faster, help us out some. All right, power's on. Let's see what we got. Well, we're definitely turning over faster, but I think part of the problem is we're missing our MAF, our mass airflow sensor, and so the engine doesn't like read how much air it's getting, so it may not be able to fire that way, but it definitely smells rich, and we're still getting a lot of flame out of that side, so it's a good start, but I think we need to order a few more parts, and then we can give it another run.
Several days later.
Alright guys, so it's been like 4 or maybe 5 days. We've ordered some parts and nothing else has really changed besides that. The only thing we've done is replace the rear main seal, because when we were trying this last time, the back was leaking pretty bad. I think it's because the old rear main seal that I put in there to replace the factory one, I pushed in too far. And so the galley that's back there started spewing oil all over the place, hence why there's a drip pan under there. So now I think we can get set correctly because we have a mass airflow sensor, happens to fit just perfectly over the intake there. So we're going to roll with that. It's all plugged in. We did get a pack of vacuum caps, so all these little vacuum leaks are going to be plugged. and we also stuck our alternator on. I went to the parts store and they tested it for me and it does work, so it's even better. That saves about $100 right there. We also took off the pulleys, did a retiming just to make sure everything is correct, and we put those plastic backing on there. These little plastic covers, they do have the timing marks on them. That's what these little notches are here on the sides. So I wanted to put these back on, and we put everything back in time and gave it a few spins over, so it doesn't look like it's in time now, but it is. But everything else is still put together here, just getting ready for all of this. But now that we've got our parts here and all of our fuel system hooked up, we got ourselves a huge battery, awesome cranking power on that. We're gonna get you guys set up here in the stand and see what we can get. Hey guys, we're going to take a quick pause and talk about today's video sponsor, Vintage Car LEDs. Are you nervous to drive your Classic at night just because your headlights just aren't quite bright enough? Head over to VintageCarLEDs.com and check out their wide variety of headlights that fit in our old Classics. You can check out their different products, their apparel, you can even compare the models, contact them with questions, but more importantly, what will fit? If you go here to the middle of the screen, every make and model you could possibly imagine, even for our Fiat is on here. We'll go down to a Volkswagen, which is what we've got. We'll go to all these options. We're going to go down to the transport. We're going to hit search. And here you go. All the headlights that'll fit our make and model are here. Different sizes, bulb brightness. All give you variety and options to drive safely at night. Now here's the good part, is I've got a coupon code for you. You save 10% with the keyword GarageTimeTV at checkout off your entire purchase. Again, use the coupon code GarageTimeTV at your checkout for 10% off your entire purchase. So let's get back to the video. Alright, so we are adding our ground cable to the back here. We did have a positive cable in the drawer, so I was able to use that for our battery. But we're going to have to use, instead of kind of old jumper cables, and just hook it to the block as our ground. Now we're going to be putting power to the system back here. I know you guys can't see it, but it is back here. We're going to apply power to it, start cranking it over, and hopefully we'll get a lot more response out of it this time, because last time was pretty pitiful. So we're going to kick this over, but I think having the mass airflow sensor is really going to change it and give us more of an opportunity here to fire. So cross your fingers and let's see how it goes. Alright, power is on. I do have a camera on this side exhaust, so if we do get some action, you'll be able to see it. Alright, here we go. Well, that was pretty fast. It lit right off, and it's super smoky, so it's definitely running rich, but that was a great start, and I'm going to give it another go and see if we can play with the throttle and keep it going for a little bit longer. Here we go. One more. Here we go. One more. Heck yeah. That's what I'm talking about. So that was awesome. Everything came together and that thing basically lit off. Remember, we paid $100, $120 for this engine. 120 bucks for the engine with the alternator. Steel. And this thing runs, which means that all of our chaotic wiring here on the bottom, all that hours of trimming and cutting all the waste works. It works. And I don't want to run it any more than this because I don't want it to overheat and blow out head gaskets that we literally just put in there. But that is so awesome. It's got a lot of blow-by out of the valve covers here and out of the back for sure. And it's definitely running rich. I mean, the mass airflow was like an Amazon special for $24. So I'm not counting on that being super accurate for the system, but this was so good, and I haven't even looked at the camera yet for the exhaust shot, so maybe we got some fire, but this is absolutely fantastic. So that was absolutely fantastic. I still can't get over it. The best part is our rear main seal fixed it, so it's not leaking out the back anymore, and it runs. It's really weird to say, because here it is sitting on a pile of wood and wheels with the battery jerry-rigged to it to make it work, and it runs right here on the floor. So we know it's going to run in the bus, which is going to be fantastic. Now what? This means that we get to start working on some fabrication, which I am no pro at. So don't hold me to it. Don't judge me. I'm going to make what I can. But I did get a welder for Christmas, so we're going to be playing with that. And you would have known that if you follow us on our social media accounts on Instagram and Facebook, so make sure you guys are doing that, because that's where I post all of that stuff, kind of behind the scenes. Action and things like that are posted on our social media. We also have a Facebook group, so make sure you guys join that, join the conversation, share your own projects, what you're working on. I want to see it. So, but yeah, so I'm excited to start working on this mount. You can buy one that's already done, but it's like $350. So where's the fun in that? Just buying it out of the box? Sure, we could buy it out of the box and mount it right up and be good to go, but I kind of want the challenge of making it. So we're going to move on to that next. We're going to need to buy material, probably some round tubing or some square tubing will probably be better, some square tubing, and measure it up and start fabricating. This is going to be completely new for me, and I'm excited to jump into that. But again, this is hugely exciting, and I am so happy it runs. You know, we were doing all this work and had no idea what we were getting ourselves into, because this is a completely new field for me. So, man, I'm super excited. Alright guys, so this is going to be the end of the episode. We got it running, and that's all we really needed, and it sounds great. It's firing on all four. All these reseals on there worked out great. We're not leaking anywhere. The rear main fix is solving it, so we don't have any more leaks on this thing, and I cannot wait to get this in the bus. And the next stage is going to be fabricating. If you follow me on Instagram and Facebook and my social media accounts, you know that, but if you don't follow me on those, shame on you, you need to. We also have a Facebook group, so make sure you guys are a part of that. You can share your project, what you're working on, pictures, stories. I want to hear them. I like to see what you guys are working on. But anyway, this is our big goal. So moving into fabrication, we got a welder for Christmas, and I'm really excited to start using that. So we're going to have to start buying material. So I think we're going to go with square tubing, like 1/4 inch square tubing, maybe something a little thicker or beefier. Going to have to do some research on that. But start working on that, and I am no pro fabricator, so please don't quote me on that. But we're going to start working on getting this thing put in the bus, and that's going to be awesome. The transmission, I resealed the whole thing, just new gaskets, nothing crazy to see there. So all new gaskets on that, cleaned it up, the wire wheel in between waiting for all these parts, and it looks fantastic. So we're going to have a nice new cleaned up transmission as well. It runs. This thing runs. 120 bucks. We paid for this thing. 120 bucks. That's it. Timing belt, some tensioner, and some cheap